Welcome to this week's Weekly Mini, our first ever here in the certified group. Thank you, teachers, for being here, and thank you for putting your trust in acrobatic arts. So this Weekly Mini is your bite-sized workshop on the hottest acro topics. You can reference all of our previous Weekly Minis and more amazing content on the Acro Dance Resource Center. If you have questions, drop them in the comments, and we'll do our best to answer those for you. If you know someone who should hear about today's topic, be a friend and click the share button. Well, in this case, tag them in the comments below and let them know we're here. Today, we're thrilled to bring you an exclusive Certified Teachers Only Weekly Mini with Master Teacher Tiffany Wagner, who's passionate about acrobatic arts progress cards and is presenting a tutorial on her top tips on how progress cards bring success in your acro program. Tiffany grew up in a small town in Saskatchewan and began dancing as soon as she could walk. After graduation, she moved to Vancouver, British Columbia, and continued her training at the Harbour Dance Centre and worked professionally as a dancer, teacher, and choreographer. Following her dream of becoming a studio owner, Tiffany returned back to her roots in Saskatchewan and is currently celebrating 24 years of successful studio ownership. She is certified with the Canadian Dance Teachers Association as well as ADAPT. She's an NCCP Level 2 men's and ladies artistic gymnastics coach, an NCCP Level 3 certified coach, and an NCCP Level 1 coaching coach certified in trampoline and tumbling. She's also Alexa Flexibility Level 2 certified stretching coach, and most recently has completed the Progressing Ballet Technique certification. One of her most passionate teaching roles is her love of acro, and she has developed a strong acro program in both of her studios. She's an M3 certified acrobatic arts certified teacher and proudly works as an examiner. She's also completed acrobatic art certification in acro adjudication and in our preschool acro dance program. We join her now. Now, this is pre-recorded, so you'll just have to give me a moment to queue up our interview. But we join her in her studio in Leader, Saskatchewan at the Leader School of Dance. Welcome, Tiffany. Here we go.
Hello, everybody. I'm so excited to be here. It's the new year, and so it's the time for New Year's resolutions, and everyone's been personally making their New Year's resolutions to, go to the gym and eat better. But I think professionally, we also need to make our New Year's resolutions for our students so that our studio can thrive and our students can improve. And part of that is teaching our students how to goal set. So today we're going to talk a little bit about that. I have two of my students here with me. One of them is one of my junior level students, and one of them is an intermediate level student. So my junior level student is Lexi. Lexi, can you give them a wave and a smile? Lexi is working on her level 3 card. She's 9 years old. And then I have Colby. Colby, can you give them a wave and a smile? And Colby is working on her level 5 card, and she is 10 years old. So they're both competitive students in my studio, and they complete exams in acrobatic arts as well as other genres as well. And it's very important to set goals and to have them understand that goal setting is part of life and part of being a successful dancer as well as a successful human. So what better time in your studio than to introduce the progress cards. So our progress cards that we have set out for acrobatic arts has all 12 levels, and you can either purchase these cards directly from Acrobatic Arts, or what you can do is, if you have the Acro Dance Resource Center app on your phone, or on your computer, you can download these cards to yourself, and you can even email them out to your students. So I personally, speaking from experience as a studio owner and a teacher, I find that this is a very great way to inspire your students to want to work hard and achieve things. And the great part is once they have it all completed, and you can either fill this out with check marks or stars. I like to get different colored stickers so they're excited about them. You can send this home along with a note or an email that says that they've now qualified to take their exam. So it's something to make your students want to keep achieving. And when you have students that have success in your program, then the other kids want to follow through. So today what I'm going to do is basically show you how I run a class where we're working on our progress cards. The way I do it is I run a regular Acro class on a weekly basis where I make my class plans and I work on the skills and the strength and the flexibility that I find is important. I have multiple levels at the same time because as the kids move up in a card, I don't necessarily change the class they're in, but I do cater to all of the cards that I have in the class. So I'll make my class plan and say, this is what I want to work on. This is what they need to achieve their cards when I do their testing. And then we'll have specific test days where the kids come in, they know that's what we're doing. We set up the studio with their regular mats to work, and then a testing mat where they come to me when they're ready to show me the skill. So a lot of times I put them by their level, or I put them with a partner that's in the same level, and they can practice. And then when they're ready, they come to my testing mat, and then I'll test them. And if it's not perfect, because obviously we're not striving for perfection, but we're striving for an exam worthy element. So when I feel that the element is exam worthy, then I will give them their sticker. And if it is not, then I'll send them back to their partner and back to their mat and say, make the following corrections. And then they will make those corrections. And then when they feel like they've made them, they'll come back. And lots of times I use this as a teachable moment where it sometimes takes them quite a few tries to get a skill. So every time they come back, I say, what was your correction last time? And I'll have them tell me that correction. And then we'll see if there's a new correction. So it's based on their progress and not necessarily pass or fail on the skill. Okay, so we're gonna start today with a warm-up. Girls, you can stand up. So I'll tell you what we're going to do in the warm-up today. So a lot of times I use my warm-up as a way to check the strength and flexibility skills because I'll put them into my warm-up so that I'm looking then on their balance and their limbering and their tumbling skills when I'm testing them. This is a way to incorporate practicing the skills, but it's also a way to have your kids be tested more than one student at a time, because a lot of us have multiple students in a class and it takes up a lot of time to go through each skill individually. So as a teacher, you're kind of like, how am I going to get all this done, right? We're only one person and we only have that one class, the 45 minutes or the hour to go over it. So we are going to today pretend like these students are level 1, just for our reference. And we're going to do a warm-up today that's going to incorporate their skills. I'm going to turn on my timer because all of these skills, what I like to do, because I'm mean, but they actually don't think I'm mean, but I say I'm mean, is I make them do everything for double the length that is required in their actual grade. So today, because they're level 1, the time to hold everything is 10 seconds, but I'll make them hold it for 20 because then I know as a teacher that they're safe and that they're able to achieve higher than the level they're actually working on. So we're gonna start, girls. Now, if you don't wanna do your own warm-up, you can use the cardio time song that we have on YouTube. It has different levels and you can play that on a TV or on a computer or device in your room, in your studio. I like to make up my own and then go back and forth between the cardio time and my own. So today, girls, we're gonna start with 10 jumping jacks. Ready, go. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And now we're gonna go down to our front plank facing the mirror. Ready, set, go. And now we're holding this for our 20 seconds. We're thinking about our correction. You can go out into your plank, onto your toes, stretch your legs, push the floor away. Make sure, Lexi, that your shoulders are over top of your hands. Come forward. Yes. Stretch the backs of those knees, girls. Stretch, straight legs. 5, 4, 3, 2, and we're back up. And now, girls, you can show me your skipping rope jumps. 10 of them. Ready, set, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And now lay down into your Superman. Ready, and go. Arms in your ears. Lifting, lengthening, stretching behind those knees. Make sure you're nice and straight, lifting as high as you can. And we're almost halfway there. Keep lifting as high as you can. Press, stretch and lengthen. Hands higher, Lexi. Good, and rest. And now you can stand up, ladies, and show me skipping on the spot 10 times. Ready, set, and go. Skipping, hands on your waist, nice and high, stretch that under leg. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and now you can go down into your tabletop. Facing the mirror, quick, quick, quick. Good, and lift up and holding. Walk your feet out a little bit, Lexi, so you're making a 90-degree angle. Good, squeezing and lifting everything to the ceiling. Press the floor away. Active fingers. You're doing great. Halfway there. Keep lifting, lifting, lifting. Don't let that go down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And you can stand up. And we're going to do jumping jacks one more time. Ready, set, and go. Jumping jacks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And now we're down into our V-sit. That's our very last one. Sit down, face the mirror, quick, quick, quick. Ready, and everybody up. Holding, lengthening behind those knees, long necks, straight backs, stretching those feet really hard, arms up, little higher. Don't touch down, don't touch down. If we touch down, we start over. Keep lifting, lifting, lifting. 5, 4, 3, 2, and rest. Good. Okay, and now what I'll have you do is show me your very best split. So your choice, right or left. And sit down in your split, stretch your feet, and we're gonna let you stretch that front foot, stretch that back foot, and now everyone's gonna push up and try to square off their hips. Ready, set, everybody up. Square off those hips. Work on squaring, work on squaring. Go to your actual level where you're square, square, square. And holding, and now you can rest onto your knees. You can rest, girls, onto your knees, facing the front. Good, so that is just a typical warm-up that I would do. And I would have all of the kids in the classes cards laid out. And then I would put stickers on if they did it flawless. If they didn't do it flawless, I was cueing them and giving them corrections throughout. And then they have a chance the next time that we do testing to fix that. And I would also, sometimes I keep pen and paper there and I'll write them down individual little corrections so that they know what they need to do the next time to improve it. So some of those skills I would have given them their star for today, and some of those skills I wouldn't have. We just had a 2-week break, so they're coming right off of Christmas break and testing. So that's likely going to be pretty hard to get everything the first try, right? So now what I would do is I would move on to the actual skills. And today I've picked 4 skills to show us. And again, the way I set up my room is I set it up with mats for everyone to be working on their skills as a group or with a partner that I've given them with. And I try to give them a partner that I know they won't be too chatty with. This is also a great way to build more rapport in your class because I like to partner kids up with kids that they're not necessarily friends with. In Leader, Saskatchewan, I'm in a tiny town. So I have kids that drive an hour and a half to me for classes. So these kids aren't going to school with each other on a regular basis. And I think that this is a great way to have them work together and make new friends. And it just makes our team stronger. So today, the first skill, I'm going to have them show together, but normally I would have them show me one at a time. We're going to start with our articulated cobra. So can you face the mirror, girls? Lay down onto your tummy. So again, I would tell them before a couple cues. When I have them come up, I have them come up with their card and they'll say to me, Miss Tiffany, I'm going to be testing for my articulated cobra. And then I say, okay, get ready. And before they go, I say, now girls, make sure that you use all of the counts to come up, all of the counts to go down. Your head is going to lead and then your head is going to be last. So I'm going to give them a little cue just because this is the first time testing it to make sure that they remember. So we're going to go together. Ready and up, girls, nice and slow at your own pace. All the way up. You can go a little bit faster, Lexi, a little bit faster. Up to your cobra. Make sure that your arms, shoulders are right and down. Good. Neck's nice and long, no crunching in the spine or the neck. And now I'll have you come down and your head is going to be last. Good, girls, nice long necks, stretching those feet. Good. Okay, so then if I thought that that was exam worthy and that was what I would be proud to put into the exam, I would give them their star. And if I thought that there's other things that they could fix, then I would give them those corrections and send them back to practice and then they can come back again. So the next one we're going to do is our push up to bridge. So girls, you can sit facing the mirror and then lay down onto your back and set your hands and feet so you're ready to go. So lay down, get those hands ready. We're going to go at the same time, but again, go at your own speed. So make sure Lexi, I can already tell that your feet aren't close enough to your seat, so bring them in. Good. Ready, set, and push up. Good. We don't want to walk our feet. So everyone back down. So I would make Lexi do that again because she walked her feet in. I want her to push up and be into the exact position before she gets up there. So get your feet nice and parallel, and let's push up one more time, and don't move your feet. Ready and go. Everybody up, head looking down. Don't turn out your feet. Make sure your feet are nice and parallel. Good. And then don't move your feet. Tuck your chin and come back down. Chin and come back down. Good. So again, if I had corrections, I would likely make Lexi do that again, but that's okay. When they come to me, I usually give them 2 tries because sometimes there's corrections that happen. Like today, the mats, for some reason, we washed them over Christmas and they're a little bit slippery. So that's why her foot is sliding out there. But what I would do is I would give them the benefit of the doubt, give them that correction. Then I'd make them do it one more time. And then if that correction was not made, I would send them back and then have them fix it again. Okay, girls, you can stand up. Now I would like to see your L handstands. So you're going to face so that your right leg is the back leg. So face the direction I want you to face. Point your right foot, nice and strong. Good. And let's see your L handstand. Ready and go. Good, and then come up. And that was pretty good. I would give them maybe a little bit more correction of I'd like them to step out farther into a lunge, making sure that the head is in line with the shoulders, and that the weight is displaced over their fingers. But let's turn to the left side. Punch your foot, make sure that you're not going to kick each other. Ready and go. Good, and stretch those legs. Good. So nice control. I would like Lexi to be a little bit higher. And now we're going to move on to our cartwheel. So same thing, I would have this happen one at a time. So you can point your right foot, girls. So come this way and get ready with your right foot. We're going to see our right cartwheel first. Okay, we're going to do this again together just because we don't want to take up all day for you, but we want to show you. But normally when I'm testing it, I always do it one at a time, okay? So we're gonna go together. Lexi, move a little bit more forward so that Colby has more room. Ready, set, and reach out. Nice control on the cartwheel. Watch this ending arms, that they're straight out from your shoulders. And we don't want to over plie that, but we do want to add the plie so that when we turn this into an aerial eventually, that their knees are safe and they have a soft landing. So now left side, stretch your foot. Ready and go. Step way forward. Good. Stretch those arms and feet. Good. Thank you, girls. You can come back down and you can kneel. Thank you. So I try to conduct my test days exactly as they're going to with the exam, simply because they understand then that there's a standard, and I want them to achieve a certain caliber before I'm going to put them into the exam. Because as a teacher, our goal obviously is to have our students love dance and be passionate about it, but also to understand that each studio has a standard to achieve. And that standard might be different based on where you are. Some people are in rural centers where they teach more recreational dancers. Some people are in big cities and they can separate their classes by divisions and years danced and days danced per week. I'm kind of in the middle of both worlds, where I'm in a small town, but I don't want to run necessarily a recreational program. So my kids are here multiple times per week. However, we still recognize that lots of levels have to dance together and lots of age groups have to dance together. So you need to take your system and cater it to what's going to be successful for your studio, because you are running a business, even though you're imparting the love of dance and your technical abilities onto your students. So set the program up so that the kids feel inspired, they're excited to come to class, they're excited to achieve, and they're very excited. I always take the kids' pictures when they complete the their progress card. They're very excited to take this home and show their parents that now, when we have our acrobatic art day of exams, they're welcome to come show that to the examiner. So I think that it's a very important thing to include in your program. It's a way for you to also measure the success of your students and of your program, because if your kids aren't able to keep progressing, you need to, as a teacher, revisit maybe what you're missing. And also, because these cards are broken up into the different categories, you can say, oh, my students are really struggling completing the flexibility portion, or my students are really struggling completing the strength portion. And then you can tailor make your program based on where your students are having trouble achieving. And so I just think that that is a really important way to have success for yourself as a teacher, success for your studio, and ultimately success for your students. So I really hope that you enjoyed watching, and thanks for joining us in our small town studio.
That was amazing, Tiffany. I love so many great points for teachers and ways of looking at it. And I know in the Certified Teachers group on Facebook, we do get questions about using the progress cards, and hearing from somebody with your experience and your perspective certainly adds value. And gives an anchor point for people to a jump off point. But certainly, like we talked about and you mentioned at the beginning, that the goal setting part of this and how it's broken down into the progress cards for teachers, you must find that a great value in conducting a class, having that.
It helps your class planning a lot too. As a teacher, it's really hard sometimes to have time to sit down and plan all your classes, but you can take all of the kids' progress cards and be like, okay, today we need to work on this because this is what my students are struggling with when we do test days. And it really helps you navigate what you need to do to have success for your students.
Yeah, and I can imagine too, just in multi-level classes, as you mentioned, that is probably, it's very common that we have many levels in, or multiple levels in specific classes, that it helps to divide that up and to divide and conquer, so to speak, in terms of a class setting and class planning. It also, like you said too, it's incentive. It's incentive for them to see what the next level is. Maybe they're not quite moving on, but their peers are, or they see older dancers and they know what they're working towards. I think that must be super powerful.
It absolutely is. And I leave the cards out. Like even today, my girls here today were like looking at the pre-pro 1 card going, oh, I can't wait until I can do that. Right. So they're seeing what is possible. And it is great because you don't ever want to, if you have a student that's struggling and a student that's excelling, yes, they might be in the same class, and you don't want to hold somebody back or have someone feel like they're not achieving. So you can make the achievements of the student that's struggling just as big as the student that is excelling and moving fast through the cards. So you don't have to hold anybody back, and you can still have encouragement and really celebrate the success of somebody who's taking a little bit longer. It lets them work at their own pace, and I think that's the most important thing.
Absolutely. Huge incentive and a great resource for all of our teachers watching as you move forward, and a reinforcement for those who are already using the progress cards. And if you're not, this is a really great foundational training for you to consider getting started. So thank you, Tiffany, for that. We'll more teachers. If you have any other questions, please put them in the comments below. Tiffany is part of our certified community, and she can pop on and see if there's any questions to answer. And we can share as a community about our best practices with progress cards. But as you can see, they're a great foundational structure for your acrobatic arts program, leading to exams and to your overall program success. Thank you so much, Tiffany.
And absolutely, anytime.
Thank you. Do you want to introduce your dancers and let them take a bow one more time?
Yeah, girls, you can stand up. Again, we have Lexi. Lexi, give us a wave. Good. And Colby.
Thank you so much, Colby, Lexi, Tiffany. Thank you, teachers. Join us again next week when we present another amazing weekly mini. We will see you then. Bye.
Bye.